I'm Filipino. At least I think I am. Some people would probably disagree. I don't speak Tagalog fluently. I don't sing. I don't dance. I left Catholicism. And my ex wife and I made the decision not to baptize our son. For some people, that's enough to say, I'm not Filipino enough. And I disagree. Because I don't think about being Filipino is about checking boxes. I think it's about caring for the values that made us who we are: family, sacrifice, compassion, resilience. Those are the parts of my culture I'll always be proud to carry. But Catholicism, that was different. I didn't leave because I wanted to rebel. I didn't leave because I wanted to sin. I left because my conscience wouldn't let me stop asking questions. The abuse scandal shook my trust. It wasn't only the crimes themselves, it was my struggle with how an institution claiming moral authority responded when those crimes came to light.
Accusations against the Catholic Church have surged in recent decades. Thousands of cases, often involving children, have emerged across the world, including the US, Canada, Australia, Belgium, and most recently, France.
I couldn't reconcile that with what I believed was right, so I walked away. And for a while, I had no idea where I was going. Then I found Taoism, and then Buddhism, and then Stoicism, then philosophy, then Wayne Dyer. I wasn't looking for another religion. I was looking for wisdom, because there was a time in my life when I wasn't sure I wanted to keep living. People think philosophy is just something you study in college. For me, it became survival. It taught me that I couldn't control my past. I couldn't control other people. I couldn't control my father's choices. I couldn't control my divorce. I couldn't control the unfairness of life. But I could control what those things meant to me. Then my father got dementia. I knew time was running out. Before the disease could take too much away, I stood in front of him. I told him I was letting go of my hatred. Not because the past changed. Not because he suddenly became the father I wish I'd had. But because I realized something. Hatred wasn't hurting him anymore. It was hurting me. That moment changed my life. More than any argument, more than any debate, more than any sermon. Philosophy didn't just change what I believed. It changed how I lived. It taught me gratitude. And gratitude taught me to see what had been in front of me all along. I have a son. He's kind. He's respectful. He's becoming the kind of young man that makes me proud every single day. When I look at him, I don't see everything life took away from me. I see everything life gave me. The miracles were always there. I just wasn't looking. That's why we chose not to baptize him. Not because we wanted to take faith away from him, because we wanted faith to be his decision. If he grows up and becomes Catholic, I'll love him. If he becomes Buddhist, I'll love him. If he becomes an atheist, I'll love him. I don't want him to inherit my certainty. I want him to inherit the freedom to search. People still ask me if I'm Filipino. I smile, because leaving Catholicism didn't change my blood. It didn't erase my family's sacrifices. It didn't erase my culture. It simply reminded me that identity isn't something you're handed. It's something you choose to honor every single day. Maybe that's what we're really meant to pass on. Not unquestioned beliefs, not unresolved anger, not fear, but compassion, curiosity, gratitude, and the courage to become just a little wiser than the generation before us. Because if the next generation inherits anything from me, I hope it isn't my religion. I hope it's the freedom to think, the courage to question, and the wisdom to forgive. If I could leave them that, then I think I've lived a life worth passing on.
If you'd want more content like this, hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more.